Hi, everybody, and welcome to the This Week in the Tech Boy podcast. I see that we already have some comments already in, so I'm starting 5 minutes early, and this is the start of the intro.
Hello and welcome to the Tech Boy This Week in Tech podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in the Tech Boy podcast. All right, so plenty of things happen in tech media, tech news this week. Samsung's Galaxy Ring may still to show of the S24 Ultra. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Apple released their new iPhone 15 series of devices, and thus they have taken away Android's one of their last advantages, the USB-C port. Although this means now we can all use a USB-C OMG cable to hack iPhones. And speaking of hacking iPhones, um, the Flipper Zero now can hack iPhones by spamming Bluetooth, and Apple can't do anything about it for them. So that's great. And also, people keep trying to take my job, and I made tons of views off of that. So thank you to everyone who's trying to take my job, who isn't in my job. All right. So first off, we'll get to today's headlines from the Tech Boy. Then we'll talk about some guy who bought a set of encyclopedias. That's great. All right. So we started the week off on Monday talking about teenage chat trends. Because teenagers use Snapchat to communicate with each other. Some use Instagram and some use TikTok, which, like I said, is insanely weird. I said that last podcast episode. Could you imagine? Just send me a TikTok, like it's a stupid vertical video application, right? And there are Wi-Fi based chat applications like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal. And guys, Telegram isn't social media. No matter how much you try to push it, it's just a stupid chat app. And it's not due to security reasons because Snapchat is end-to-end encrypted, and I'm pretty sure that teenagers aren't scared about the messages being intercepted by SS7. Okay, there's only one messaging application that's broken through to the teenagers, and that would be iMessage, which costs $1,000 to enter. But I am in trialing Sunbird, and it's working. I got added to my first ever Apple-based group chat, and can see blue bubbles. So that's great. More testing is needed, I guess. Moving on. Apple event. I was in school, so I couldn't live blog it, but I embedded it here. They released the iPhone. Oh, you can't see it. They released the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Plus, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max and Pro. There's no Ultra this year. The phones themselves all add USB-C. That's basically it. Dynamic island comes to the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, and the phones also, the Pro Max has a better telephoto camera with 5x zoom, but no 3x zoom. So we'll have to see how that works out for portraits. And then, thank you, Brett Cooper. Thanks so much for taking my job because you gave me 9.2 thousand views, and then we created a new playlist of it with an average view count of about 11,000 views. So, that's great. That's great. We can check it out here. I'll show it on the live. But anyway, there we go. Everyone's second favorite Gen Z YouTuber. That is. There it is. Everyone's second favorite Gen Z YouTuber. After me, of course. I've seen those things. And hey, guys, look. Brett Cooper's trying to take my job again. Please, stop it. No, Brett Cooper. I say keep taking my job because in the process of taking my job, you've made me plenty of view counts, and we hope to keep that up. In fact, we have an entire playlist of it that I said I was going to share. So here we go. Go to the playlist. There it is. 5 videos in the playlist. Let's start from down here. Here we go. The one with the least amount of views.
The news and my email. So I rushed downstairs to find out that I had lost access to basically everything.
Hey guys, look, for 7 months, Brett Cooper has been coming after my job as a tech blogger and YouTuber.
And now, before this series started, make sure to like and subscribe. Before this series started, our most popular short with 1.9 thousand views.
With the nerd goggles, Apple can see everything you see. It can literally.
And notice this is the Dex era when we were podcasting from Dex because my computer was slow.
Track every movement you make. It can track where your eyes.
It scans 30 million pixels on your for face recognition. If Apple wanted to see every part of your home, what do you think is easier? A big TV screen size goggle on you with 3D cameras, or a mini 6.5-inch screen with 3 cameras on it? Besides, you'll probably take that to more private events. You're not gonna take your nerd goggles to like the bathroom, but you might take your phone. So yeah, no.
And yeah, there's that. Then there's comment section, and comment section. So
The news and my email.
people,
So I rushed downstairs to find out that I had
for taking my job. We are truly indebted to you. Now, oh, and of course, last article, we talked about Apple, how Apple was getting away with providing terrible specs to their customers. For $800, you can get a nice iPhone 15 with a 60 hertz screen and no telephoto. Okay, now, or you could get a Galaxy S 23. That's its main competition until S 24 comes out. And hello, welcome to our second viewer. Next competition comes out, you could get it has telephoto camera and 120 hertz display with USB-C, of course. Samsung Galaxy's A54 has some better specs in it. So of course, it's slower, but the A54 at least has a 120 hertz display, and it does have expandable storage. Like Apple is basically using techniques that they use on budget phones. Oh, guys, look, we got super high megapixel, which means you can crop in and zoom. Yeah, that would be great. The only phone that I really accept this on, would be the Asus Zenfone series because telephoto zoom is small. But it's like takes up space in the phone. That's why they didn't add one to the S10e. And of course, at that time, telephoto zoom was actually relatively new. But Apple couldn't even put like some old 2x telephoto camera on there. No, that's not good enough. Apple shouldn't be allowed to get away with that. If Google, let's say Google, launched the Pixel 7 8 series for I don't know $800, and they didn't have a zoom camera on it, yeah, that wouldn't be acceptable, and it shouldn't be. And that's why Google's Pro series of devices, the Pixel 8 Pro, that has telephoto zoom. The Pixel Fold, that has telephoto zoom. Google, Samsung, they know what they're doing. I don't know what Apple is up to or doing. So, but they know that people can basically just buy anything that they sell. But without further ado, we're going to move on to a new article where we're going to talk about how someone bought encyclopedias Ars Technica. Right here. From Ars Technica, someone bought a set of encyclopedias. And it's newsworthy. Okay? For my next article, I'm going to talk about how I bought a set of, I don't know, like flash drives. So, that should be groundbreaking. But here it is. This passes for news these days. But whatever it takes, I guess. Anyway, I still bought the only physical encyclopedia still in print, and I regret nothing. And it says, still updated workbook encyclopedia is my antidote to the information apocalypse. That's what it looks like. We have the World Book. Apparently, his kids didn't know what an encyclopedia was, but I do, and I read one, even though I'm like 3 years older than his kids. Yeah, so they still make them, and you can find stuff on about smartphones on them. But oh my goodness, it costs $799 or $1,199, which is really expensive. But it basically amounts to 4 years of their online subscription. Of course, the subscription would get updated. However, it will never get link rot, which just means that if it links to something, the links won't go away. So that's great, I guess. Because encyclopedias don't usually link to anything. But I mean, they could sometimes. So that's that. Hopefully, they unveil some offline uh, software, encyclopedia software for phones and computers and stuff like that. That would be really nice. But one thing that did come out was Liberty GPT, which allows you to install an AI model on PC offline. Oh no, not Liberty GPT. Sorry, Freedom GPT. It lets you install a offline AI model on your computer uncensored. Though that's a bit of a, it's not entirely true. It won't tell you how to hack Wi-Fi. I tested the online version in the browser. It's okay, I guess, but you got a Windows version here, which is all right. I have 12 gigabytes of RAM. It requires 16. It's kind of slow, and it only gives like small word answers because it uses a 7 instead of 30 gigabyte large language model, so it's not as good or fast as ChatGPT. But I guess if you want to be able to do something with your computer while you're offline, you could download this and you have uncensored artificial intelligence ish. Yeah, so that's that. Let's check out the website Sam Mobile. Yes. And guys, we're currently almost to 200 subscribers. We're at 168. So tell your friends to like and subscribe. Hopefully, maybe we can get to 200 before Fear Me It's Bray. Let's see. And according to Sam Mobile being a website dedicated to Samsung devices and tablets and phones and everything like that. And guys, if you're watching, make sure that you put stuff in the chat if you have any questions. We can talk about the Flickr Zero hacks going on, everything like that. Ooh, the September 2023 security update is rolling out to the Galaxy A71. That's nice. I had a Galaxy A71 5G. I still haven't gotten my September update yet. I don't know, maybe it's T-Mobile. According to this, the security update, which it's the 16th, so it's coming out in the middle of the month at the time of recording, to people in India, or you can download it from the firmware database and flash it using Odin. Anyway, security update's coming out. It has Android 13, but unfortunately will not get Android 13. But it got updated for a nice time. Launched in early 2020, basically supported all the way to late 2023. Anyway, coming into late 2023. So it's basically a 3-year device. Mid-range is pretty good. They got the Android 13 update late 2022. It came with Android 10. So it's 3 years of software updates. Probably still a pretty good phone, Mine lost signal, so that's why I had to get a new phone. But, that's interesting. So yeah, Samsung's still giving security updates to its phones. That's great. Better update commitment than older phones used to get. Go away, ad. Okay, now let's talk about this Flippo Zero iOS Bluetooth hack because it's really interesting, really funny here. Um, the Flippo Zero basically can DOS spam iPhones using some custom firmware that has been uploaded by the software hacker. Hacking device Flippo Zero can spam nearby iPhones with Bluetooth pop-ups. And as you can see from the image, the Bluetooth pop-up is talking about is just some type of Apple thing where you can transfer your phone numbers, sync iCloud IDs, I don't know, like pop-ups, pretending it's AirTag and Apple TV, AirPods, and everything like that. So it's using Apple's seamless connectivity thing software built on top of Bluetooth that isn't that can make an iPhone unusable. And the hacker Anthony called it a Bluetooth advertising assault. In a blog post he wrote explaining this, he says that it can quote disrupt the seamless experience that Apple users are accustomed to. And he did this by tweaking the Flipper Zero with a specific firmware, which you can go download, and to basically DDoS a iOS notification. And he was able to do it to iPhones spanning thousands or hundreds of miles or feet. Yeah, thousands of feet using an antenna, but he didn't publish that because he didn't want people to be using the Flipper Zeros to broadcast signals to devices next door. And according to TechCrunch, they did it and it works. And this is his blog post here. And this is a video, so let's check it out. It's 55 seconds.
Apple fans, we all know them. They love their devices and they're proud of it. But what if I told you there's a way to have a little fun with them using Bluetooth? Enter the Flipper Zero. This isn't just any device. It's a tool, a toy, and for today's video, a tiny agent of chaos. Bluetooth.
I wish you could target a specific iPhone, so you could just like prank all the kids with iPhones. That would just be really funny. Just prank one kid with iPhone. That'd be nice. Oops.
Energy, or BLE, uses something called advertising packets. These packets are like little digital handshakes between devices. With the Flipper Zero, we can
Notice the Face ID infrared lights coming through the cameras.
send these advertising packets
That's what the
in a way
flashing was
that
over there.
stay curious, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next adventure.
Yeah, so it just sends just packets to iPhone devices pretending to be AirTags or a brand new iPhone or something of that nature, and it can annoy the Apple fans, and I guess can make it unusable within range. But if someone knows about this hack, I guess then they'll look for the guy with the nearest Flipper Zero, which I want. So again, let's pose it here. Should I get an OMG cable or save for a phone or get a Flipper? Alright, it's in the comments. You guys did vote. Last time you voted that I should get an OMG cable for Flipper Zero, but we'll see what you say. Let's see what you guys. What? Oh my goodness, not again. It says it looks like my YouTube live chat is disabled. No, we just have to do call-ins again. Okay. That's why no one's been chatting in again. Maybe I got some comments. Stupid YouTube chat. Okay. Let's see. Can I pause this? Nope. Okay, let's keep going. Hopefully I can fix this. Okay, just check. Let's look into this. YouTube chat disabled. How to enable on a live stream. Alright, there we go. come on. Why is my browser so slow? Okay, I'm going to go into the YouTube settings. If YouTube would load, for goodness sake. Oh, there you go. I'll stop sharing. There you go. That's where no one's been chatting in. I hate it when it does that. Okay, guys. So remember, I guess if you want to call in this issue fixed, you can call 845-328-0140, and I'll try to fix the chat for now. Okay, let's see. Content. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show this on live because it could break the stream. I'm going to edit this. No, I don't want to delete the live. That would be terrible. Okay, no, it's not made for kids. Show more. Save. Okay, let's test out the comments again. Oh, it's still disabled. Okay. We're still in the settings. Hopefully it lets me enable it. Live chat disabled for this video. No. Can I pause the stream and make it again? Okay, let me refresh. There you go. And I'll play some music in the background while we're doing this. Here, I'm still working on the live chat. Don't forget to call in to the I'll go check your voice. See if someone's going to call in. And once we get through with this, we will have our next pick. But the browser is extremely slow. Customization. You can have these streams for the whole chat. No! Okay, it's broken. Well, but I have to do this without live chat, unfortunately. Remember, you can always text in or just leave a comment on the video and we'll read them about 1 minute, unfortunately. So I'll just leave the number up on there and turn the music off. Alright, so if you want to comment or call in, just send a text to this number on screen, or you can call in or leave a comment on the video below, and we'll check through periodically to see if anyone has commented or called in. All right. Today we're going to be responding to some comments. And by responding, I mean looking at them because I've already responded to the comments themselves. These are video comments from yesterday's YouTube short. Zooming in. Hopefully you can see it on. There you go. Yesterday's YouTube short with over 2,000 views. What are you talking about, kiddo? 3 likes there. I guess it's like that. And I said I'm a tech blogger, and he's doing tech. I did just switch about this with Cooper. Okay, mumble, don't know what that means. I said, haha, heart of the issue. Trying to make an issue out of a new issue. I'm pretty sure I meant non-issue. Stop it, get a job. And I said, it's not an issue. It's just a nice trend. So that's that. I'm not gonna read that one. Okay, so there's that. Right, we have another more comments in this series, but we can read. Oh, oopsie. Anyway, yeah, we have other comments in that series that you can read, and yeah, so remember to comment through if you want to be read on the show, and see if there's anything that you want to talk about to be sent into the show. And if no one does that, I guess we can just create a new stream if you want. So tell me in the comments, do you want a new stream where you can actually live chat, or do you want to keep this one up? Oh my goodness, this browser's being super slow today. Okay, finally, the browser is loading, and today we're going to be talking about the iPhone 15. I mean, not iPhone 15. Yeah, I guess you can do Mr. Mr. Boss, what you didn't know about Nintendo. Sharing on stream. And hello to person 3. Unfortunately, today's live chat isn't working. So if you want to get your voice heard, just be sure to call/text the number on the screen, or you can leave a comment on
organized,
and we will check through periodically.
I'll start working on my thesis.
Grammarly will ensure you feel confident nailing your final thesis by supporting your...
Did you know Nintendo has been around since 1889, like literally the time of the Ottoman Empire, that they have an official accessory that's a one-to-one of a revolver, or that until Mario came along, Nintendo's mascot was meant to be Disco. He appeared on the manuals for lots of early games in Japan. As soon as Nintendo saw people's reaction to Mario, he was very quickly buried, but has shown up in a lot of places as an Easter egg, including the surprisingly
awesome
Mario Bros. Movie. You think you know Nintendo, right? You think they're just this normal gaming company who made a couple of consoles. Well, here are 40 more things that you didn't know that will completely switch.
Look at that effect. Interesting how they're able to get it to be CRT TV style, but he's just normal.
Right around. So what was Nintendo doing all the way back in 1889? I mean, they weren't making Mario Kart, that's for sure. This company actually started out making Hanafuda cards in Japan, which became really popular really quickly because the government had recently outlawed most forms of gambling, but Nintendo's Hanafuda managed to loophole their way around that. And so, if you ever wondered what
I guess good for them.
Nintendo actually means, it can either be translated to leave luck to heaven, a reference to gambling, or the more literal temple of free Hanafuda.
This makes Nintendo older than Samsung by about 50 years. Samsung started in 1938. This makes them older than Apple by about 90 years. Apple started in 1976. This makes Nintendo older than probably Sony, I think. I don't think Sony was around in the 1800s. So Nintendo, one of the basically first console companies
free emphasizing the fact that Nintendo's
Yes.
Hanafuda were allowed and not outlawed. But after a few years of this, something crazy happened. The president of Nintendo at the time, while visiting one of the company's Hanafuda factories, spotted this extending arm-like toy. It had been made by one of the maintenance engineers, Gunpei Yokoi, just for a bit of fun. But the president loved it. And
That's nice music. Yeah.
sensing that Nintendo was starting to reach their limits when it comes to playing cards, he ordered Yokoi to actually develop this toy into a real Nintendo product just in time for the Christmas rush. So he did, and it ended up being called the Ultra Hand. Thus, basically overnight, pivoting Nintendo from a card company to a toy company. And this guy, Gunpei, from a regular maintenance guy to basically chief inventor. That
I wonder how old this is. This happened like 1960, 1901.
turned out to be a pretty good decision, since he's the man who later down the line ended up creating Nintendo's first ever handheld game console, the Game & Watch, the even more iconic Game Boy, and he's also the one who's responsible for basically the entire way that Nintendo operates. You know how people always complain that compared to PlayStation and Xbox, Nintendo is consistently behind in terms of tech, that they never use the latest components? Well, this was Gunpei Yokoi's entire design philosophy that he called lateral thinking.
Interesting. I wonder if any Android brands, or Apple, I guess, could pick this up.
With withered technology. The idea that people don't need cutting-edge tech to have fun. It just requires the company to do some out-the-box thinking. And if you can do that, you can have the same levels of success with far less cost. And now you're looking for it. I apologize if I've ruined Nintendo for you, but you will see traces of this vision across every one of their products. This is why Nintendo's first Game & Watch used the same fixed image display as a calculator. And why today's Nintendo Switch released with a chipset that was 2 years old even when it launched. Am I happy about it?
Wait, 2 years old when it launched? So it was 2 years old in 2015?
Not really. Is the Switch still my most played current console by far? Yes, it is. This guy Yokoi was such a big part of Nintendo's success over the years that Nintendo later decided to honor his contributions with a real video game titled Grill Off with Ultra Hand. And Ultra Hand wasn't the only toy Nintendo ended up making. Seeing the success of Lego in the late 1960s, who just introduced the concept of a wheel, which changed the entire paradigm of what was possible, Nintendo started to think, yeah, we can do that too. And very shortly pivoted their efforts towards building their own Lego-like N&B building blocks. They
Nice. Do any of you guys remember call in or put into the comments have a set like this? It launched in like the 60s and 70s.
had ads directly comparing their blocks to Lego to show how their revolutionary circular design was more appealing. And Lego sued them. Understandably. Nintendo actually won that lawsuit, but only later realized, thanks to their very peed-off customers, that actually the pieces all being so rounded made them work together much less well than Lego. It wasn't until 1977 that Nintendo's true trajectory was set, when they released the Color TV game, their first ever video game console, with each version of the console only able to play one single game. Imagine that nowadays. Sony releases the PS6, says you can only play Gollum on it. Right, so that's basically Nintendo's history.
I mean, I guess most people only play like 1 or 2 games on their console, so it's not, too bad. Like most people just like play Madden or, well, yeah.
And for some surprising durability facts. I really hope we caught that. The Nintendo DS is the only console to have survived a trip all the way up to the top of Mount Everest. The moisture, the icy cold temperatures, the wind, the spilled curry apparently. Even when all other professional electronic equipment the climbers were carrying failed, this is what lived on.
That's good, I guess. But if they ever need a compass or a GPS or a beacon, it's over for them.
Gulf War in 1990, a medic had left his Game Boy in a tent, and that tent got bombed. Now, naturally, you'd assume any possession of yours that gets bombed is a write-off. You'd throw it away. But just for what seemed like a bit of a sick joke, this medic decided to send his melted Game Boy in for repair when he got back. But then, the Nintendo repair staff, when they received this fried Game Boy and stuck a game of Tetris in just to try and see if it was even repairable, found that it wasn't just repairable, but it actually still worked. But it gets...
That's... wow. That's... great.
Crazier, because the Game Boy was also the first console ever to be taken to space. In 1993,
it survived Mount Everest. It survived the Gulf War. Might as well take it to space.
Russian cosmonaut Alexander Serebrov spent an astonishing 196 days in the Russian space station with the handheld and a copy of Tetris to remind him what gravity feels like.
So that's the only good contribution of the USSR, I guess. Tetris.
cosmonauts, I love sports. My particular favorites are football and swimming. During flight, in rare minutes of leisure, I enjoy playing Game Boy, wrote Cerebrov in an autographed note that accompanied the game and his Game Boy in a 2011 auction. So yeah, if there's one brand of consoles that you could confidently take to war with you, it's Nintendo. But what about the weirdness of Nintendo's characters? Like how Mario, in the original Donkey Kong arcade where he first appeared, wasn't meant to be Mario. Nintendo actually wanted to use Popeye as the main protagonist, but just couldn't get the licensing rights. And it's only then that they realized that they actually need a character of their own, so they decided to create Jumpman.
You're the god of mischief.
Go.
Yeah, I think the creative team were having a day off. But Jumpman...
I mean, Jump In sounds okay, you know? No comment yet.
over the coming years, became Mario. And Mario, as a character now, has managed to sell Nintendo over 800 million video games.
800 million? Wow.
Did you ever wonder why Mario's gorilla nemesis is called Donkey Kong? Well, donkey in a Japanese to English dictionary is an adjective meaning stubborn. And Nintendo wanted to make it immediately obvious to passers-by at arcades that the enemy character is a stubborn ape. Zelda is named after the famous novelist and playwright Zelda Fitzgerald.
Zelda is from Nintendo? Wow.
For some reason. I think they just liked her name. But then where does Link's name come from? It's not short for Lincoln. Well, the very first Zelda game was originally going to feature time travel, with Link being the literal link between past and future. They, of course, did go on to use this concept in later Zelda games, but a lot of people didn't know that this was the intention right from the very beginning. If you look at Kirby game box art in Japan versus the US,
where's Japan more pink?
you'll notice his face is angrier in the US and cuter in Japan. And this is intentional. Nintendo found from their market research that all demographics in Japan responded well to cuteness, but that in the US, they felt like they needed Kirby to be cool more than cute, because they didn't think that boys would play otherwise.
Well, I mean, it is pink, so...
Which is hilarious, since Kirby was very nearly going to be called Tinkle Popo. Yeah, I don't think that would have been quite the same hit. One of Nintendo's
What is Kirby?
top lawyers, John Kirby, owns the exclusive worldwide right to name sailboats Donkey Kong as a very strange thank you gift for winning Nintendo a massive lawsuit. This was
That's great, I guess. That's nice. So I guess I can't name my sailboat Donkey Kong.
a huge case, by the way, funnily enough, from Universal, who tried to sue them saying that Donkey Kong was fringing on the rights of King Kong. Oh, and they also bought him a $30,000 boat for him to name the Donkey Kong. But that's less funny than this idea of the God-given right of you, and only you can name your boat Donkey Kong.
So what if I name my... I don't know, it's like little rowboat Donkey Kong? Are they gonna sue me?
It's funny. But then also, notice something interesting about that guy's name. John Kirby. So the reason that Kirby didn't end up being called Tinkle Popo was this guy right here.
Wow, he really saved their company.
Unsung hero. Right, just before we get to the Easter eggs, which, not gonna lie, is my absolute favorite thing, I want to show you how, even though Nintendo does tend to stick to less cutting-edge tech in their machines, that it's also impossible to deny how much they've innovated in their own way. They were the first to bring in the concept of a D-pad, or directional pad, funnily enough, also engineered by our guy Gunpei. Same for the analog stick, which appeared on the N64 in 1990.
Interesting. Those are both, stalwarts of modern video gaming.
Before Sony or Sega could beat them to the punch. They mainstreamed the ability to save game progress on cartridges in the West. Instead of having to use floppy drives, they basically installed tiny batteries into the cartridges, which basically keep the game running in a really low power state when taken out, which is needed so that it doesn't reset to its original state without progress. These cartridge batteries have lasted 20-30 years, with grown adults even now carrying on their childhood save files. Nintendo made the first shoulder buttons, appearing on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System at a time where developers were scratching their heads thinking, what on earth do we do with all of these inputs? Which is funny because nowadays we have 2 times that. Nintendo introduced Controller Rumble in 1997 with the Rumble Pack for your N64 controllers.
Really?
Again, at a time where the idea of a controller that could vibrate interactively with what was happening in a game felt like a whole new unexplored dimension.
It's kind of like, I guess, Adventures in Odyssey.
So many big gaming features that we nowadays
Imagination Station.
just take for granted, Nintendo were the ones who either invented them or popularized them. And then there was the Virtual Boy, the first ever mass-produced virtual reality system, which is crazy considering that this is 1995 we're talking about, the year that I was born, but this was also a pretty good example of why you shouldn't always rush to be first. The Virtual Boy was VR, but long before VR was good enough to make the tech usable. It could only display images in black and red, which ended up giving people headaches. It launched with no good games because Nintendo was too busy prepping for the N64 that they knew would be a hit. And the main problem was that while initially conceived as a lightweight set of goggles that you could wear and take anywhere, the Virtual Boy...
Hey, imagine if we had the... Oh, wait. Apple. Yeah, they did that.
It ended up being so heavy that Nintendo had to build and ship a custom stand with it that required you to use it on a table and lean into it, making it...
That animation looked a lot better than what's going on right there.
A very literal pain in the neck.
I'm Shashi. I'm a video editor, content creator, and entrepreneur. Today, I'm going to go into Adobe Express and...
Great.
So we've talked a fair bit about the inventor, Gunpei Yokoi, but he isn't the only weirdly well-known Nintendo executive, because compared to other companies like Sony and Microsoft, who tend to keep one or two public-facing figures, Nintendo likes to put their developers at the front and center, to the point where they become almost as beloved as the company's actual characters. Like Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of the Super Mario and the Legend of Zelda games. Basically the architect of a lot of people's childhoods. What I thought was so cool is that he...
Legend of Zelda exists in 1986? Wow.
Created the original Zelda on NES as arguably the first open world game because he wanted to give players the same feeling he had as a kid, exploring outdoors in his hometown, especially the feeling of discovering a cave, i.e. the very first thing you do in the game to get your sword. Or like the current
what do you do with the sword in Legend of Zelda?
President of Nintendo of America, whose name is literally Doug Bowser. That's the fact. And fun as that is, even he has not yet lived up to the legendary meme overlord status of the previous president of Nintendo America, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
What?
I think it's actually pronounced Reggie Fils-Aimé, but
Reggie Fils-Aimé? How is it funny?
I prefer my version.
So does Amy.
Reggie Fils-Aimé. Interesting.
Who came in hard with his very first introduction to the fans at E3 2004. And it's not just this. Reggie has had a million other golden moments, like
My body is ready.
which then became My Body is Reggie. And then him actually adopting the fan nickname of the Reginator. And then there's Satoru Iwata, who was the president of the entire company from 2002 until his tragic passing in 2015. There are a million stories you could tell about Iwata, like the fact that when the Wii U was failing and tanking Nintendo's entire stock value, this guy outright refused to fire any employees and instead cut his own salary in half. Or that he's
that's great.
the reason that the second generation of Pokemon games feature both the region from the second game and the entire first game bundled into one. The dev team was struggling already just to fit in one region, but Iwata was so insistent that he wanted to give the fans more that he single-handedly developed a compression tool so powerful that it not only saved the game's entire development, but allowed them to stuff almost another full game in there too.
That's... wow.
And if you're enjoying this video,
How did you do that?
then a sub to the channel would be Nintendo dopamine inducing.
That was nothing bad.
So, at launch, the Switch had a hidden Easter egg left in there by developers in memory of Iwata, a ROM of NES Golf, the first game he worked on at Nintendo, which would only appear when he performed his signature directly to you gesture with both Joy-Cons, which he would do at the start of every Nintendo Direct presentation. Speaking of NES Golf...
I said try that. We don't have a Switch, but we'll see if someone we know has one. Can do that.
And Easter eggs. No one seems to know this, but the golf course in Wii Sports, enjoyed by tens of millions, is actually the exact same course layout first created in NES Golf in 1987, but just now in 3D, which is both really cool to see the original ideas brought to life, and also one really smart way to save yourself drawing out new courses. They also then reuse those same courses for Clubhouse games on the Switch. The game
What's Clubhouse?
GameCube launch jingle has two secret alternatives. So this is what the normal one sounds like. But if you hold Z on your controller, it makes a squeaky dog sound. And then, if you plug in all four controllers and hold Z on all of them,
has time to do that? Oh, let me just.
It turns into a traditional Japanese drum theme to honor the console's country of origin. And then, as an homage to the GameCube, when you have to press the same button 3 times to launch your current Nintendo Switch, I imagine most people just mash the A button, but if you press either ZR or ZL, or click in the sticks, it'll make similarly unusual sounds. If you boot up a DS on your birthday, the boot jingle will be more sparkly. On Wii U, your
I guess you could change your birthday every day so you can hear it.
Mii's will sit there and applaud you. Also, Nintendo PictoChat will display a happy birthday message when you join a room. Oh, and this is so cool. On the DSi's sound editor, if you record any sound and leave it idle for a minute, the console will remix that sound into the Super Mario Bros. Theme.
That sounds like great technology. Oh my goodness.
If you transfer your data from the Wii to the Wii U, the data will actually be carried by Pikmin, which are iconic Nintendo characters at this point. They put way more effort into this
I've never seen that in my life.
animation than they really needed to, and I am all for it. The GameCube has a microscopic dolphin printed on one of its chips, referencing the fact that Dolphin was the console's codename during development. And
That's a lot of work.
if you've ever wondered, this is how the Dolphin emulator that lets you play Nintendo games on other machines found its name. And another physical hidden Easter egg, which has got to be my favorite, since a lot of you can go and find this right now. If you tilt your Switch Pro controller's right stick down, shine a torch at the top of it, you can just about see, thanks to all game fans printed on the circuit board. If you want to see me buy...
Interesting. Now, there's nothing more we love to do than to hate Apple. You know, it's a pretty big hobby around here. Okay? And, well, you know, there's also nothing else we more love to do around here than to react to not to be articles. So, it is only on rare occasions when we can do the same thing at the same time, covering the same subjects. I present to you Apple's ad of the year, 5 minutes. We'll see here. This probably convinced absolutely no one to buy their phone. And basically worshiping Mother Nature, who, of course, we all know doesn't exist, and who also apparently can control the weather. So, Apple is worshiping the environment for 5 minutes to get you to buy their new iPhone. Wait, he said that he's embarrassed if he's typing this on a MacBook, which that's great, good for him. Be embarrassed. Oh, the video is not embedded. Oh, here it is. Here we go. From Tim Cook. Tim Cook himself published this. Okay. Let us watch this all in awe of what Apple has done for us. Oh. Okay. I'm not going to open it there. Anyway, I'll get this loaded up. Okay. Apple and environmental video. And for some reason, on their British YouTube channel, with a measly 4.9 million subscribers, unfortunately for them, the comments are off. Because I would have loved to see the comments under that video. Oh my goodness. That would have been, woof. I mean, imagine Scuttlebutt, but worse.
Welcome to Apple. Welcome to Apple. Hi, I'm
She
Tim.
should be here any minute.
How is the weather coming in? Hi, I'm
Oh,
Tim.
these breakfasts.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the office's already carbon neutral thing, right? Yeah, all yours.
Yeah, of course. You know, whenever I'm buying a phone, OnePlus, Samsung, Google, Apple, I always try to look to see whose offices are the most carbon neutral. Real important.
Oh, okay.
plant looks dead. You can't even keep a potted plant. It's kind of pathetic. No comments yet. All right, here we go. Oh, she's hiding it.
I hope we didn't keep you waiting.
Mother Nature, welcome to Apple. How was the weather getting in?
Oh yes, she can control the weather. That's great, I guess.
The weather was however I wanted it to be. Let's cut to the chase. In 2020, you promised to bring Apple's entire carbon footprint to zero by 2030. Henry David Thoreau over here said we have a profound opportunity to build a more sustainable future for the planet we share.
I think our 10 o'clock said the same thing.
They all do.
What do you think that 10 o'clock was? Apple? Samsung? Vivo? Google?
All right. This is my third corporate responsibility gig today, so who wants to disappoint me first?
Well, we've got some updates we're excited to share with you.
Materials status.
Is there a materials person here?
Yes, we are in the process of eliminating all plastic from our packaging by...
What kind of plastic is in your packaging? You barely have chargers in your packaging. We're going to, what, you're not even going to put a nice plastic screen protector on your phones anymore? It's a box, a cable. You're not selling them in bags. It's like a bunch of cardboard.
Let me guess. 50 years from now when someone else is left holding the bag?
By the end of next year, actually.
When we're also currently using 100% recycled aluminum in the enclosures of all our MacBooks, Apple TVs, Apple Watch.
What about iPod Shuffle? It's a joke. Don't you people make Ted Lasso?
Oh, that's a different group.
We're also phasing out leather in our iPhone cases.
Why? That is nice. Like, this is just going to cause people to not buy your cases and buy some other person's cases. Unless Apple makes some type of rule that says, hey, you can't have leather in your cases for iPhone. It's not going to be able to crack down on this.
What about Brando over there? They phasing you out too?
Oh.
What's next?
Electricity.
Notice how he's using the newest iPhone?
Electricity status.
We're operating on 100% clean electricity.
What runs on 100% clean electricity?
Every Apple office, store, and data center runs on clean electricity.
That sounds extremely expensive. Just gonna say. I mean, they are Apple, but it still sounds expensive.
Electricity, thanks to you and your powerful wind and sun.
Oh, great. She's God now. Thanks to her powerful wind and her powerful sun. Yeah, no Apple. And second of all, what if it stops being windy? Hey guys, look, it's not windy out there. And what if it's, I don't know if Apple knows about this, dark outside and it's night, or there's snow covering the solar panels. You don't have Apple stores in Canada?
And Apple offices are already carbon neutral.
That's great. What am I supposed to do? How's this selling me an iPhone 15?
This building is carbon neutral?
Oh yeah, we do it with a mix of clean energy and electricity.
If this lady can control the weather, and she created the sun and the moon and everything, she can't read their brains?
Eliminating greenhouse emissions. It's kind of like if you were to...
You're seriously explaining carbon neutrality to Mother Nature?
Right, no, I'm sorry.
You want to tell me how photosynthesis works too? Don't.
Oh yeah, because I guess she, created the plants too.
Also, over 300 suppliers have committed to using 100% clean, renewable electricity.
What's next?
Transportation.
I'm proud to report that we're shipping more products by ocean rather than air, which reduces transportation emissions by 95%.
Also sounds like you're going to get your phone by 95% slower. And also, do you know what would be more efficient? If you put the charger in the box and you shipped it together when you got your phone, Then you wouldn't have to make 2 trips with the ship. Go back and get the charger.
95%. Not too bad.
I'm also happy to report that we're investing in projects around the world that protect the Earth's soil, plants, and trees.
I mean, that's great. It's actually, the first decent thing they've said all day. But like, the premise of this commercial, you should be able to plant the seed trees yourself.
Everyone says they're planting trees.
We've planted forests.
Oh, hello.
Where?
Paraguay, Brazil.
What, are you trying to save the tropical savanna?
Yes. And we've also restored mangroves in Colombia.
What else?
Grasslands in Kenya.
Why?
Our aim is to permanently remove carbon from the atmosphere.
Most of that gets done by stuff in the ocean.
What about your water usage?
We've reduced it.
By how much?
63 billion gallons.
63 million?
Billion.
That's great. Wait, let me check this. Yeah, that's great. Good for Apple. I still don't see how this is getting me an iPhone 15. And this would be really good if it was shot on iPhone.
As you can see, we've innovated and retooled almost every part of our process to reduce our impact on the planet. But there's still a lot more work to do.
And there's something else we wanted to share with you.
You're not trying to bribe Mother Nature with Apple swag.
It's Apple's very first carbon neutral product.
That's nice. Look at that. It's an Apple Watch, y'all. It's
I want to see this.
You will.
When?
By 2030, all Apple devices will have a net zero climate impact.
All of them?
All of them.
They better.
They will.
2030, y'all. 7 years from now, the iPhone 23 is going to be no carbon impact. Suspenseful strings music. Oh, 18 points.
Okay, good. See you next year.
Don't disappoint your mother.
Yeah, great, good for Apple. See, look, the comments are turned off. So, you heard it here first, guys. Apple is worshiping the environment. That's nice, great, whatever. Apple says, don't disappoint your mother. Very, very interesting here. And, USB-C has iPhone. And as your favorite tech blogger famously commented, this is obviously hashtag gift from Google. So, because this is basically going to cause people to switch towards Google because no one cares that much. I mean, that skip is awful. Just terrible. Tell me in the comments below what you thought about that. Excuse me, what you thought about that skip. Or you can call in to the show on the phone number listed below, 845-328-0140. All right, let's look at the new iPhones specs. Sorry, the iPhone 15 versus the iPhone 14. Aside from USB-C, the dynamic island, what really is driving it? One of the good things about this week's Apple event was that they allowed members of the press to come on and. Not members of the press, sorry. Members of the, what do they call them? Tech reviewers. Yeah, they let tech reviewers come. They even quoted MKBHD. So Apple's opening up more. Maybe it's starting to get some more buzz because they, I guess, allegedly forgot how to create their own advertisements.
Rights of mental.
Here we go.
True story. On the flight to Cupertino to attend the first iPhone launch to which I've ever been invited, I realized
see that they've invited tech reviewers to come.
I left too thick on the East Coast. The last 1% of my iPhone's battery and the lightning cable that would have helped me solve that problem. Now, USB cables I had coming out my ears, each one of which is more than happy to charge my MacBook, my Android phones, my camera, my headphones, my microphones, my field recorder, but not the iPhone.
See? You know, that's just the one last advantage. I'm not switching to iOS. Not a chance. But that was just one of the many advantages that we had.
Which, devoid of its crucial cable with proprietary plug, remained sadly inert until I bought another.
How much tech did he bring? He brought a camera, headphones, phone, laptop, and recorders.
Well, it turns out that was the last lightning cable that I'll ever need to buy. Today, in the Steve Jobs Theater, Apple confirmed that my dream of charging all my gadgets with a single cable is finally at hand.
Oh yeah, this is brushed titanium now.
And even if you're not as stoked as I am about Apple finally embracing the universal part of USB, there are optical, metallurgical, and even action-oriented reasons. The iPhone 15 is a bigger upgrade than it seems. I get it. The iPhone...
Yeah, the notch is dead, so I'm going to have to start drawing phones with the little pill thing now. You know, it kind of grows on you.
15 doesn't seem all that different than the 14, which means it's not all that different from the 13 or even the 12 before that. Form factor fatigue is a big part of what drove me to foldables as my daily drivers.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of foldables. Let's just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's probably $4,000.
And this is indeed just another rectangle.
I like how those screens look. Those are nice.
But as rectangles go, it's a pretty special one. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max make 3 major changes in addition to that USB-C port I opened with. Starting with one I wasn't sure I was going to love.
It's kind of interesting that this has the action button, but all of them have the action button, or the other ones have the mute switch? Because I think people like the mute switch.
Appreciated the iPhone's mute switch because I also loved it on the phones that came before it. The Palm Trio and Centro I carried before the iPhone was a thing. But in a world where most people leave their phone constantly muted, this kind of single-purpose switch has probably outlived its usefulness. So Apple replaced it with something I've appreciated on many smartphones over the years, a customizable action button. The best thing about this is that out of the box, it's...
5 years ago, Apple wouldn't do this. Like, I think it's really interesting that they added a button here. Like, we were getting rumors saying that Apple is going to remove buttons from the phone and they're all going to be touch sensitive and capacitive. But here you have evidence that they added a button to the phone. That iPhone has more buttons than my Samsung phone, which is just weird. 5 years ago, you would have probably seen a physical home button on a Samsung phone-ish. You would have seen... and then you would have the back and recent buttons, and then capacitive, and then you would have had the power and volume buttons. And on some phones, you'd have camera buttons, like on Sony. It's just so weird that Apple is adding customizable buttons.
Does the exact same thing the old alert slider did. You just press and hold it to toggle the ringer on or off, and the phone vibrates with a distinctive haptic buzz for each one.
That's nice.
So you know which mode you're in without having to look at it. If you're not interested in that, you can set it instead to toggle the flashlight.
Oh, I like that animation.
Or open the camera. And when you're in the camera, it'll double as a shutter button. Or, my personal favorite, you can set it to take a voice memo when you press and hold. Why is this my favorite? Well, because
I have my back button set to do that.
Because my first ever mobile phone had a dedicated button for recording memos like these. And I'm a sucker for nostalgia, which you know.
What phone is that? Let's see. It's nice.
Actually, maybe my favorite feature of the action button overall is that it might prompt Android manufacturers to bring back buttons like...
Yep, Apple's a trendsetter.
These. They used to be on so many phones, and I truly miss them because it never stopped being a good idea. Also a good idea? Titanium.
Custom made. Titanium alloy. It's what they use on the space shuttle.
For years, Apple has relied on stainless steel to give the iPhone the kind of heft that reassures folks that spending over $1,000 on a smartphone is a good idea.
It falls on their face, it falls on their foot.
But heft is, heavy. By preserving the aluminum frame and replacing the steel with grade 5 titanium, Apple has brought the weight down. And by contouring the edges, it's made the phone more comfortable to hold. What I like about this, though, is that it didn't go back to the more rounded, pillowy footprint of the iPhone 6 era. You get the sharp looks that came back around with the iPhone 12, but an ergonomic grip that doesn't dig into your palms as much.
Yeah, that's great, because these curved sides, I don't know if I really like curved sides. No, I'm not talking about curved edges. I'm talking about like curved sides. I'd rather have flat because it's easier to record and everything. Like one of the best places to do it would be the 5G antenna covering that because it's flat.
You can see it in my eyes. It feels very good. If there's a downside to the use of titanium, it's speculative. The metal is difficult to anodize, which means it can be more difficult to colorize. Apple says
I don't really care about the color. Oops, it got muted.
More muted casing colors on the Pro and Pro Max. Black, white, and what I'll call barely blue. So if I were buying one, I'd go for the raw, natural titanium colorway that really doubles down on the metallic look, with a brushed finish that cuts down on the fingerprints versus last year's side rails.
That's nice.
It's what they use on the space shuttle.
Oh, before we close out the construction segment, Apple pointed out that it re-engineered the internal chassis to make the iPhone more repairable by making the glass backplate easier to replace.
Okay.
Which dovetails with its recent reversal regarding right to repair. The final major change came only to the Pro Max, because the 6.7-inch version of the iPhone was the only one big enough to accommodate it. After 4 generations of arch-rival Samsung giving buyers the option of crazy, twisted optic telephoto cameras on its Ultra series of smartphones, the iPhone finally sports a super zoom of sorts of its own. The Pro Max replaces the 3x zoom of the iPhone 15 Pro with a 5x telephoto that's clever.
They're acting like this is something brand new. Oh my goodness.
Instead of just being mounted sideways, it forces the light to bounce back and forth in this kind of stair-step arrangement and cheats physics that way. I still think Samsung is going to have the edge in extreme.
You think? Like it's 100 times zoom for Samsung.
Zoom situations with its native 10x optical modules, but we'll see how that plays out in the review. One thing I'm not worried about is Apple's continued dominance in mobile video and portraits.
S23 Ultra was good for video.
And all those other ineffables that make iPhone cameras so reliable. The 3-axis stabilization is twice as effective as the 14 Pro, and because each photo contains a full focus map, you can adjust the focus of the entire shot after the fact.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, this is nothing new in smartphones. We've seen manufacturers playing with this capability as far back as 4 years ago with the Nokia 9. And honestly, I've never found it all that useful. But Apple being Apple, it includes a real-world application for it. Automatic portrait mode. That means you don't need to remember to set the camera mode before you shoot a portrait. You can create one after the fact.
Pretty sure you can do that on Samsung. You got last year's S22 Plus, so I'm swiping up. Oh, I tried to swipe up the camera like it was an iPhone. I've been playing with those too much. I'm just going to take a picture here. Okay, I'm going to go to the gallery. This is a normal, non-portrait mode picture. I'm going to click the dot. Yeah, add portrait effect. It's probably not going to work. I think you have to take like a front-facing camera picture. Not front-facing. What's it called? A picture with a face in it. So I'm going to take a front-facing picture with the phone, and then I'm going, without having in portrait mode. So here we go. Watch this, guys. Let's just see how the phone's in front of the camera. Oh, man, that's much. All right, watch this. It says clean my lens for clearer pictures. So let me cleanse it off. Okay. Oh yeah, that's clear. It detected my hand so I could take a picture. Notice this, no background blur, nothing. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to click that button down, click add portrait effect, and it's going to change the portrait effect. Boom. I'm going to up the blur to 7. And notice how the background is blurred. And you can adjust the blur there. And then you can apply it. So you can, and you can also save it as a copy. So, you know, nothing new there, folks. Right, back to the video.
Fact. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, and when you want to export big video files,
it's more advanced
files, or even record directly to an external storage drive, the Pro and Pro Max have USB 3 data transfer to make that process faster.
That's great.
There are lots of features I didn't get to here, like the brighter screens, dynamic island, coming downrange to the 15 and 15 Plus, Qi 2 charging, and Apple's sustainability efforts. But none of them made me break out in a big, goofy grin like this feature coming to the new Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2 in October. So the watch takes data from the heart rate sensor, accelerometer, and gyro, and it feeds it into a faster neural engine in the new S9 chipset. And the result is that the watch can recognize when you tap your thumb and forefinger together. And that means
that feels weird. Like, I don't know who's going to
you can scroll lists, press buttons, and answer and end calls without even touching the screen.
That is amazing. Good job on Apple for actually adding a feature that no one actually added.
It feels like the future in a way I'm frankly not used to experiencing from an Apple product.
Besides, you can see more information there because your finger was there. You cover half the screen.
Better yet, it actually works really well. I got to use it for a few minutes, and the watch got my taps right the first time, every time. We'll see how it fares out in the real world when I get a chance.
And guys, please text into the number on screen or add notifications here.
Chance to review these.
You know what I mean? Add comments.
If you wanted me to come back from Cupertino with news of an Apple foldable, well,
nope.
Yeah, me too. But the fact is that the iPhone is the most
Hey, look at this.
Yeah.
He's wearing one of those body cameras there. And a mic on it.
Me too. But the fact is that the iPhone is the most profound success story
There's a lot of people
in smartphones. And while that's still true, the one thing you don't want to do.
Oh, let's see what I have here. 5G, 2000 nits, that's great. All day battery life. Okay, how long is a day, Apple? You're trying to tell us it's like 18 hours for the Apple Watch one time. Optical quality, 2 times telephoto. What's good? Optical quality is... No one should accept no optical... listen, if your phone is $800 or $700 to have an optical telephoto zoom, I am criticizing Apple on this. I'm criticizing OnePlus on this. Equally. But at least OnePlus, has a focus on gaming and performance and everything. But still.
Hey, we got a great product here. Let's change it. I think it's inevitable that Apple will someday release a multimodal iPhone of some kind, whether foldable or
maybe 5 years from now.
Rollable. But today, the changes the company decided to make a...
Now look at this. Always on display. That was the last year, right? Yeah. A17 Pro, which whatever. Spatial video, which is like really dumb. Yes. I'm going to take my $1,000 phone. Let me full screen for this one because this is going to clip. I'm going to take my $1,000 phone. I'm going to record 3D video that can only be viewed on a $3,000 face display. Now, I may not call them nerd goggles. I may not hate the technology, but no one has that. Like, and you can't even share it online. You'd have to have people come to your house to watch the 3D video on your $3,000 goggles and watch it one by one because it's the only thing that can display it. It's not like 3D TVs are a thing anymore. So I don't think that's going to work. But like if the 3D video could be processed and rendered on device, and maybe you could upload it to YouTube as a 3D video and watch it as a 3D video without needing the $3,000 goggles. If you can do that, then that'd be great.
A lot of sense.
Why are they advertising?
And the same goes.
Highland as a feature. That was a feature last year. Wi-Fi 6E, that's great. Okay, always on display. That was a feature last year. Always on, all day battery life. That's like, just tell us how many hours.
For the things that stayed the same, like most of the pricing.
What is this? Why are they even having the iPhone SE up there? But an iPhone 14 for $699, that's a good price.
Now, there is a way to make your iPhone feel a little fresher.
And it's deeper. Great. Now let's talk about the iPhone 12 scandal, and we're going to actually have to, I don't know, defend Apple here, because unfortunately, iPhone 12 has been banned in France over radiation levels. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the phones are safe. I know someone with an iPhone 12 mini, and the phone, you know, it works. And I stood there and nothing happened. Okay. I don't know what the radiation limit in Europe is. Let me see what it says. Apple said that it was compliant with global bodies' findings, by international bodies' findings compliant with global standards, but it would issue a software update to accommodate the testing methods used in France. So I don't know what France is doing. So I guess France is just being weird because it works in all the other countries. What kind of software thing are they going to present? Are they just going to be like, sorry, this has too much electromagnetic radiation, so we're just going to, you know, lower the strength of our 4G and 5G radios, which means it's not going to work as well. It's unfortunate for iPhone 12 buyers in France. So, you know, that's terrible. Maybe they'll switch to Android. You know, we can always hope. All right, let's see what other things we have in the news here. Oh, gotta talk about OSINT. This new OSINT tool called EPIOS. It lets you search by usernames or by phone numbers and email addresses, and it's really useful. And there's another one that it goes even more in depth, and it lets you search by usernames and something else. I'm pulling it up. It's bookmarked on Edge. You scroll down. It's called OSINT Industries. So first, let's start with EPIOS. Okay, hopefully you can see this on screen. Okay, so we're going to search our phone number here, 845-338-0140. Be sure to search. I'm going to copy and paste it here. I think it's a US number, so there's. Oh, I got to accept the terms and conditions. Oh, I got to put the plus. Okay. And then you got to enter this CAPTCHA. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. So we're searching. It's searching the web for what we're looking for. And this is really advanced. But this next tool, the second tool I'm going to tell you about, it's even more advanced. And both of these tools have free versions. I'm using the free version. I can't afford, you know, anything else. This is fully legal. You can search any email, any phone number on here. No information has been found because I don't create accounts with that email address. But if you put in one of my personal email addresses, you could find plenty of information with that. I mean, it's such as Google, Snapchat. Oh, I almost forgot. I promised someone that we do a Google versus DuckDuckGo showdown 2 years ago. So, same categories. We'll do it right here after this. All right, hopefully you guys can see this on screen. This is called OSINT Industries, and they do other searches. Here it is on screen. Hopefully you can see it. There it is. Okay, you can search by email or phone. So I'm going to search by the same phone number. Oh, you have to log in. So let me log in off screen, and then it's completely free. The software is free. Oh, yeah. Okay. So while I'm logging in, the software, they have a free version. They let you search by username or phone or something like that. And then the rest of that is you have to pay. And so we're not paying. And I'm still logging in. Right, check my email. Okay. So while we're logging in, this software, it's called OSINT Industries, which is its own. OSINT stands for Open Source Intelligence. It just means finding information about something publicly available. It started off in the World War II era, where the government would analyze posts from the enemy and figure out what they were doing and where their movements were, just from basically newspaper clippings and things that he could publicly access. And now in the digital era, you can use this to find usernames, people, accounts, and this can be used to find incriminating information, or it can be used to start a phishing attack. So you know what online account someone has, who they're related to, where they live, etc. And you can put all that information into a phishing attack, which would help you, seem more credible. So this, needs to be careful with this kind of information. And there's also another article. I'm pulling it up right here on Medium. I'm pulling it up, and I will show it to you after I log into the software. Remember, free account. I'm just using the free tools, and I'm going to show you the power of this tool. It can figure out. I searched some emails and found someone had a Khan Academy link. You could find their bio completely on the internet. You could find on the other software I showed off. You could find their Google Maps reviewing, their Google account, which you can easily find if you have the email address. But that's that. Okay, so I'm logging in. I'm already subscribed to their newsletter, which will probably give me some more and if you just want to learn about OSINT, there's YouTube channels about it. It's really interesting, in my opinion. What happened? Did I accidentally close it to it? And there's also Medium people who blog about this, and Telegram channels about this. So I'm just going to put in the, oops, hope you didn't see that. No, you didn't. Okay. I'm putting in my phone number, the TechBoy phone number, not my personal phone number. Ingredient to views. I'm searching. Oh, we got to log in again. I just signed in. Okay, it's still taking some time, so maybe I'll show you the article on Medium. So let's see, we scroll down. I think I saved it. There it is, reading history. Here it is. Very interesting article here for free on Medium. It's called Geolocating Social Links Co-Founder. And he found a picture. This is him in an elevator. And this guy located the exact hotel or building he was standing in just from this picture in the image. Right, so let me pull up my password on edge here. So let's just scroll through here. So first he downloads the picture from X, and then he flips it on Pine Tools so he can figure out how, because he sees that it was flipped. Then he upscales it on imageupscalermedia.io, and he's just zooming in to the image and everything. And he sees that the sounds are written in Arabic and English, so he's probably in an Arabic-speaking country. Okay. And he sees the text and draws it in and figures out what it says. And he says it's from comfort elevators. And then he searches comfort elevators to see where they work and everything, and which people they've navigated. And he sees that. And then he figures out the location of the hotel he's in, finds the ones in the Middle East because it's in Arabic. He finds a high building with 45 floors. This is just using Google and easy tools anyone could use. Like I could have done this if I wanted to. And then he locates pictures of it online to confirm of other people in the elevators here. He sees how this here, and here, he blurred their faces. But if I wanted to, I could find that picture. And he finds the exact location just from the picture. And he says yes. And amazing. So, I mean, honestly, that is really incredible. And I think I will give him a follow over on X. So, yeah, just really good. I will link this article into the description below because I think OSINT is really interesting. And he has some other articles about, or someone else had some other articles about finding out where a video was taken based on the license plates. And he uses the license plate and the buildings in the background to figure this out. And hey, maybe he can do some OSINT. Maybe we can do some OSINT things. I'll take some pictures of a place that's nearby me, but not like too close. And I got my login from my phone. I'm putting in the password, and we are signed in to OSINT Industries. Really impressive tool here. It can search via username, over 200 accounts. Okay, and I can finally put this on stream. I'm just gonna Windows key V in my phone number. All right, and we can share the tab. I click search, and hopefully this works. Oh, we got the catchpa again. So let's solve this thing. What am I trying to look for? Trees. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And of course, you could still call into this phone number or text in if you want to get your comments shown across. And it's searching over 200. Oh, we have to search via plus. So it'll be +1. Oops. I did exclamation mark. +1. Agree to the terms of service and search. What am I looking for? Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, and now it's going to be searching over 200 accounts and websites. It's not working. Okay, I'm just going to search my email here. Oops. Okay. And I will show you the results when they come up. It's still searching, and it's loading. It's loading. Here they are. Okay, it found a Pixar account, a Google account, an Apple account for Sunbird's iMessaging, Eventbrite, Firefox, Change.org, Samsung, of course, Zoho, and Spotify. And you can search by when people, when it registered, you can search by phone number or email. Truly incredible stuff. And there's separate modules here. Oh wait, these are the email modules, and this is the phone modules. Well, there's a separate software. Let me put it up on my phone that I was using today that let you search via username. Okay, it was one of the ePIOS alternatives that I had found. Let me pick this up and search. Let me search to the history. Okay, and this will be the last tool that we talk about for right now. Oh yes, it's called OSHINT.getbook.io. O like O and then SHINT. So he put a H in between OSINT. He had an extra H into OSINT to turn it into OSHINT. Weird name for a thing. Okay, and the software that he has. Oh no, this OSINT software. There you go. And then we'll get to, what did I say we get to? I forgot. Oh no, I forgot what I said we get to. Oh yeah, Google versus DuckDuckGo. There it is. Where's the software? It's the OSINT username search. I'm pulling it up. And then we'll do our Google versus DuckDuckGo competition live. Maybe it's not called OSINT. OSINT is a blog. I think that's where I found the software. Okay. I'm searching through my history again. Oh no. But OSHINT, OSHINT, has a whole collection of username of search engines that you can use. And I hope you can see this on stream. Oh no, you can't yet. Okay, I'm still looking for it. Maybe just check using. Nope. Oh, Intellex. I think it's Intellex. Let me see. Nope, it's not that. Okay, I'm still searching through. But anyway, OSHINT blog, really good search engine. Right there. Payphone directory. Phone number lookup. Leak peek. Okay, so this was listed under ePIOS alternatives, which is the OSINT search engine that we saw. Oh yeah, it's called Holo Hill. Let me search. No. Okay, and then we'll finish off with Google versus DuckDuckGo. Oh my goodness. Oh no, it's not Holo Hill. That's, you have to download that. Maybe it's OSINT Industries. Web search. Nope, we just searched that one. Oh yeah, it's called PrivacyWatch.app. There it is. Okay, we're opening it up. I have it open on Edge here. There it is. PrivacyWatch.app. This tool can search through emails and phone numbers and usernames. This is the one I was talking about. I don't remember if I had to create an account. All right, here it is. Here's what you get for free. Hopefully you can see this on screen. It has the username checker, so you can search the username, TheTechBoy. Other people have that. Email tracker, that's not free. EXIF, so this searches usernames. The other stuff searches email addresses. So if you want to search email addresses, I would recommend the app we are just on. I'm going to bookmark this for future use. And so if you want to search username, emails and phone numbers, I'd recommend ePIOS for a little bit. But the better one would be, it was free. What was it called? I'm checking here. OSINT Industries. So OSINT Industries is better, in my opinion, than ePIOS. OSINT Industries is more for free. So OSINT Industries for phone numbers and emails. You can also do that for ePIOS. And then you can also do privacy. The one that we were just on, what's it called? Sorry, I forgot all of this. This can all be linked in the bottom of the blog. PrivacyWatch.app for EIXF and usernames for free. And if you want more OSINT tools to use, you can use OSHINT, OSHINT. Weird name, but whatever. It's a blog and has a list of everything that it has here. And of course, I'll link the social links story down below as well. All right. Of course, I'm always pro using other search engines for OSINT purposes, but I still hold the belief that Google is better than DuckDuckGo. But we're going to test it right now. So 2 years ago, when Google was in trouble for the whole FLOC thing, I defended them because, a great way to drive traffic is to say things everyone else is not saying. So everyone's like, oh, DuckDuckGo, it's amazing, most amazing software ever created by man. But see, if I say, hey, guys, this is okay, then, it's great for traffic. Besides, I have been, always was a fan of Google. So 6 reasons Google is better than DuckDuckGo. And stop freaking about FLOC. Google is fine. So this article was written about 2 years ago. Actually, a little bit over 2 years ago. March 19th. Oh, yeah, way over 2 years. A month ago. All right. So we're going to do it right here. Integration with other Google services, more relevant search results, image search, Google Maps. People also ask, and voice search, and their business model, which was the models here. So we're going to basically do the same thing. We're going to add one last thing, which would be AI. So I'm going to open up Google right here. You may say, hey, it may be, okay. So here we have Google here, and we're going to do a search for, and then we're going to also open up duck.com. Which, by the way, DuckDuckGo gets its search results from Bing. Okay, so I'm going to do a search result here for Samsung on Google. And let's see what we get here. Okay, so it sees the search results near me. You get an ad here, an ad here. Okay, so you get Samsung's website. Then you get a T-Mobile sponsored. You get Samsung here, and you get your pictures here. So it changed a little bit. You don't get Samsung at top anymore, but you got Samsung, and you scroll down, you get some news articles about how they're launching the S23 FE, cancel the footage, y'all. And you got some news articles here and some information here. I don't know why the ads are so long, but you got that. Now over on DuckDuckGo, I type in Samsung. And you get some weird ad for appliances for Samsung fridges, but then you get straight to Samsung's website. Now, one thing I will say is that Google's font is nicer. Like you can see that this font doesn't look as good. Hopefully, I'm sure. Yeah, okay, there you go. Font doesn't look as good, but then you just still get your news articles. The layout is, okay, I guess. All right, now let's do one, and then you got image video searching. Unfortunately, DuckDuckGo added search pagination like Google did, so I don't know. So let's do another search here. Let's just say TheTechBoy. It's going to be a little off just because I'm logged into my TheTechBoy account, but I'll be able to edit out what's not seen by you all. So it's going to see I have a business profile, so that won't be seen by you guys. And then and that also won't be seen by you guys. So edit that out of your mind. But this is what you're seeing if you just search normally. And then you'd see my website. And then you'd see my X account. And then you'd see my YouTube videos. And then you see my Crunchbase profile. So that's pretty good, right? Over on DuckDuckGo, you see my website. So that's pretty good. I have no idea what that is. Then you see some weird random YouTube videos. Hey, look, that's actually one I made. But it's getting random stuff from TikTok and everything. Then you get my YouTube channel. Then you get our media page, which isn't really that good. So it's, it's finding different things about me, but it's finding also different TheTechBoys, even though we're more popular. But, I'd say that the searches, come up a little bit. Let's do one more search. Let's see on. Let's do something a little more in depth. Let's see. TheTechBoy, Brett Cooper. This is referencing our website post that we did about thanking her for giving us all those views. All right, so we're searching it on Google there. All right. So the first thing that comes up is Reddit, and then my website, but not the official article. You got a Wikipedia thing here. So, DuckDuckGo search is pretty good, but it's finding other things about Brett Cooper that we didn't look for here, and then it finds my YouTube channel, my podcast from like a year ago. So it's iffy. Now let's see what Google has for us here. Boom, right there. The post about Brett Cooper, and then an actual video from Brett thing. And then you actually can search inside of YouTube video descriptions and everything like that. So I'd say that the search goes to Google. And of course, you get Google's AI, which DuckDuckGo doesn't have. Oh, you can't see this. You see, look, boom, top post there. Boom, video there. Boom, another video there. Still me. Another video from me. Reddit. And then you find stuff about her. But these are all that image right there is me. So, Google does way better with more niche searches. Now let's go to the next category on the list. More relevant search results integration. Well, integration with Google services, Google obviously wins. More relevant search results changed a little bit, but I'd say Samsung's still better. I mean, you know what I mean. Google's better. And their image search has gotten upgraded from now. When I wrote this article, there was no Google Lens on the official Google Chrome, but now there is. So you got Google Lens, which is a lot better than the reverse image search. But you still get regular image search and no image search on DuckDuckGo. So Google automatically wins that round. Right, back to the article. Google Maps. So let's just check this out. Okay. So let's just say the Samsung, what was the search I did? It was which end? Okay, so that's focus on the family's headquarters. Focus on the Family's headquarters, which has a Wits End place from Adventures in Odyssey. So I'm searching on DuckDuckGo first, okay? And this is using Apple Maps. Wits End, it's a random place in New York, but I guess that's better than last time. You can enable an anonymous location. I mean, I like that they use Apple Maps because then you get different satellite footage. And let me try on Google Maps. Okay, according to Google Maps, it's putting up the same place. So this must be a brand new place that didn't exist when the article was written, when this article was written. Let me try Wits End, Colorado. But one thing that you will notice here is when I type in Wits End, you can converse with the AI. You have to sign up for that. Then you get the menu for the place, the images of the place, and then you can see in Odyssey, story, and photos and everything here. But if I were to type it into DuckDuckGo, you're not going to get any of that. So Google, I guess, can more contextualize your place. But sometimes it doesn't come up when you want. Oh, there it is. My computer's just slow. There it is. I was going to say that doesn't make sense. All right, so we're going to go to Maps. And this makes sure it doesn't pull up my address. And boom, pulls up Focus on the Family Welcome Center. Does well with that. So now let me switch in Focus on the Family on DuckDuckGo. Hopefully you can see this. Okay. Oops, I misspelled it. Okay. You have maps here. None of it changes. All right, so it opens right in Apple Maps. So it's basically a partnership that goes to Apple Maps. And it ended me up in the cemetery. But when I type it into Google Maps, I got Focus on the Family Welcome Center with the official image here. So guys, DuckDuckGo just sent me to the cemetery when I tried to go to Wits End. So I don't know what to say about that. I guess Google's more Christian. Don't quote me on that. All right, and then the last thing is people also ask. Let me see if that's been added to DuckDuckGo. Let me check it. And of course, people also ask us been there to add it to Google. So we all know that. So is Samsung better than iPhone? News, articles. And then these videos, they always seem scammy to me. I don't know. But nope, the people also ask tab hasn't been added. I mean, there's related searches, so that's that. And of course, Google's business model is, actual a business model, not, hey guys, we're not Google. That's not really a pretty good business model there. So you have it here. Oh, and of course, voice search hasn't been added to DuckDuckGo yet either. Well, I guess a workaround you could do is Windows key H and voice type it in too. So you have heard it here first. Google still is better than DuckDuckGo. Still holds a lead over search, AI, voice search, and contextualization, and I guess mapping as well, because it didn't send me to a cemetery when I searched for Wits End, Focus on the Family. So that's that. God bless. Tech talk to you later. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out TheTechBoy.org. God bless you and God bless America.